finish off this bit of wall here. I think we probably want to slice the first episode after doing maybe all of the upper wall sections. We'll see. We're definitely doing this in lots of different parts. I mean, it took us 13 episodes, each over an hour long pretty much, with the basic washer. Even with the Pro, yeah, we're ripping through it a lot quicker. But it's still just big. It is a very large, too large structure slash map. Okay, well that's basically as much as we can do from there. Now the annoying thing is that the top of the scaffold is kind of even with this. Can I jump across there? Okay, good. So it's a case of, from here, are we even getting good angles on the designs? I think we are, actually. So if something sticks out, we are getting the top of it. So that's alright. Kind of need to go from one side to get this angle. Like a dinosaur figurehead. I mean, the inside bits I can do up close and personal anyway. I don't need to do them from here. But yeah, I can immediately see that there's bits that I haven't done. I guess I can look up at those. It's mostly the angle looking down that's the problem, rather than the angle looking up. Ah, okay. Or it can just be super generous. It was a lot still dirty when it went ding. Figurehead I probably need to do from behind slash on top now. The archway should just all be inside now, probably. Can I jump back across easily? Yeah, close enough, eh? Close enough. And then we just stand on the figurehead. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's pretty generous is the answer. That's why we're not too worried about doing that. What was I doing? I was doing that with the short extension to operate further away. So I'm not just staring at my feet the whole time. Kind of looking ahead instead. Still covering off like a third of a brick with each pass, I think. So once again, this is a much more pronounced archway bit at the back. So we can probably just look up and do some of that instead. At the very least, I think maybe just looking up to do some of this stuff is probably not as bad an angle as looking down to do it. Then I'm not sure whether or not using the green is better than using the yellow even for this stuff. So you're having to double over a fair bit. can work my way down the side, and then I can pretty much just go stand on the entranceway and do the rest, I think. Even if I have to use just a long extension or something. Going up. Let's just move around so much faster because I'm not looking down. When you're looking down, you move slower. Which can be quite advantageous sometimes, actually. You don't really want to be running around on a surface like this, like a scared hare. Let's do a couple of bricks at a time. Just makes the movement very jerky, whereas looking down it was a bit smoother. Oh, and now we're on the entranceway already. Yeah, okay. So at this point we just do like this. And now we don't really have to move and I can have a drink. It looks so small from this far away. Okay, we don't need an extension and stuff for that. We can do that up close and personal. How is it leaving bits not clean in the middle of where I was spraying? And that's why I use the yellow, I guess. Just can't trust the green sometimes. There we go, excellent. Dinged when I wanted it to. Now this we have no choice but to look down on. Rear octopus feature. I assume that's because it has a design on the front of it, but we can't see that from here. So it sounds like a weird name for it. Is the white nozzle just good enough at this point? Kind of? Almost? The grime is fairly tenacious though, so... let's not make it harder for myself than I need to. Okay, so the top bit's the feature, and then we've got the wall. Which we can actually get a little bit of distance from. Actually, that's part of the lower area, so we don't want to do the rest of that. We'll worry about doing each of these bits at the end, but we'll do the top layer first. Because I don't think the scaffold would have a very good angle for doing the top layer. We while we're able to walk on it, we may as well do just that. You can at least get like the top bits done. Sort of, anyway. Actually, a fair amount from this side, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, back over here. We could do all the entire exterior before going inside as the other option. I'm really not sure the best way of doing this is episodically. Just do our best, basically. Well, in these walls we could actually do from the scaffold, technically, if we stick it in the corner. That might actually be easier. Much better beam when it comes to yellow. These lower walls we're going to have to use the yellow on anyway because we start getting barnacles. Just end up on such a bad angle that it doesn't clean things as well as it should with this nozzle. And yes, I'm getting distracted and doing the lower part that I wasn't going to do, but so what? Yeah, the white is actually good enough for this. Pretty much just having to go over it as many times as if we were just using the green though, so it doesn't really give us much benefit, I don't think. Where's the barnacles at? I think they're only on the lower sections actually, aren't they? Yeah, only on the very bottom part of this wall at least. The fact that the green gets rid of them as well. Yeah, they go much further up on some of the other walls though. The yellow gets rid of them much more convincingly. Sweet. These bits are actually split in half, it turns out. Nice. There! We fell down again. Always do prefer to work my way like from the top down when possible. Just feels more natural. Okay, that's that bit done. But that's like all of this still needs to be finished. But hey, the better I do those bits, the more likely it's just to give me the ding when I do the rest of it. So we've done all of the upper walls, haven't we? Yeah. So that's good. Just chuck on an extension. Chuck on a longer extension. That's better. It's still too splatty. Still not great, to be honest. I think it's just the angle. Because, yeah, unfortunately we're still looking at it on quite an angle. Arguably here we're actually looking at a less of an angle. At least the bits in close. Further away bits are still an angle, though. Yeah, I feel that's just not as good as, given the fact that we can just use the white pretty much if we're right up close. It's all much the same, really, isn't it? I don't think it's really making much difference. Slow and steady. I'm just getting a bit impatient trying to finish this off, but there's no point being impatient at this level. It's too big for that. Here's where I almost fall off. Yeah, I think just looking down, again, it just feels better. Yeah, maybe it's not as fast. But it just feels a lot more natural. It feels more controlled. See what I'm doing better on a wider scale than if I'm just right up close and staring at it. There's actually barnacles all the way up here on this side. They were only on the lower sections on the other side. Again, down this low, honestly, probably just going from the ground is probably better. Just using an extension. The angles in the designs aren't enough to give us too much of a problem, at least in terms of going like from above and below. There we go. So that's all of that wall done, which is nice. But not the octopus wall. I think that I will get the scaffold out for. I wonder if I can finish off these ornaments though, because they got mostly finished from above, which is kind of funny. Yep. Yep. Cool. Good to know. Boing. So, the other walls. Maybe from the scaffold. Got a whole pediment done over here. Whee, bonk. Because from this sort of angle, we're pretty much perpendicular to the wall, which is good for cleaning it, right? We're not on any silly angle or anything like that. We're actually pretty perpendicular. We might just have to move the scaffold like to the left and to the right, because otherwise we're on quite a steep angle trying to clean that far away. But that's fine, we can polish it off. I think this is a much better way, certainly a much more visually pleasing way of cleaning. Because, yeah, we're like looking straight at it, there's a lot less splatter on the edges of the beam. And then we can go, you know, a couple of layers down to do the lower layers. Then we can just be at ground level to do the gold layers at the very bottom. Basically just go until it gets too diffuse looking to the side, but honestly I think that it gets all the way to the edge pretty well, quite frankly. But I guess having it on the corner or something is fine anyway, because we've got to do the side of the entranceway. Okay, once we get to about the line of the upper wall level, starting to not work quite as well. Cool, and then we just go down a few levels to do the rest. Similar sort of thing on this side, can probably go right up to not quite the corner, but much nicer than sliding around on the pyramid surface itself, isn't it? Right, let's just go down a couple of layers here. Now we've got a little bit of an angle going on, I guess, but not nearly as bad if we were on it looking down. Probably also don't need the long extension anymore, might just, the short's probably fine. Maybe just normal long. Cool. So much nicer than having to just scrub every stone with the red nozzle. I think we might not be quite getting all the barnacles from this angle there. So I think now it's a case of, you know, now we have to move that to like here or something. In this case, we might just have to get up close and personal to clean. Oops, accidentally pressed shift. To clean the very bottom part for a start, and also there might be little bits that we've missed along the way. I bet it'll stall at like 1% from complete. Be like 99.5% clean, and we'll have to go hunting for some other little bits that we've missed. Little kind of half barnacles, probably. Cool. Bonk. Now we don't need an extension. We'll leave it on the yellow, though. Green would probably be fine, but We could still do it with an extension and stand further back as well, to be fair. This just feels a lot more personal. Maybe stand a bit further back and use the short, maybe. I don't know, is that just worse? Looks like that's just worse. At the point that we need the scaffold again. Somewhere around there. Work the edges and then just blast our way across. So all these stones aren't very, they're just like little bricks. They seemed a lot bigger when we were on the surface of it, that's for sure. So we could probably just finish off the bottom even from here. Maybe the blue layer at the bottom we should do front on from the ground level. Because otherwise we are actually on an angle here now. Still kind of works. Crap in my hand from holding the mouse steady the whole time. Watch those barnacles disappear. Very pleasing compared to the struggle bus that we've had previously. Even that was pleasing in its own way. Like scrubbing them off with the red nozzle was very satisfying. It just took a very long time. Then on the inside sections, there's a lot of the ore bits that were also up the top. So that made the whole middle area inside take quite a while. I mean, the biggest problem a lot of the time is just trying to go too fast. It's either trying to go too fast or trying to do too much from one place. Nice. There we go. So we want to move this like a little bit over here, just so we get a good look at this wall here. Honestly, this I could probably do from the pyramid side instead, actually. Mind you, we could do the side of this figurehead. It's kind of useful. It's hard to get a side look at it otherwise. You do like the top of the entranceway and stuff separately. That should probably wait until last, to be honest. Just finish off with the entranceway. clean everything else. That's probably what I did last time. There's a couple of things that only appear after you've cleaned everything else, I seem to remember. Rather annoyingly. Bogger. Bogger? Bugger. Bollocks. Something like that. Just want to do this, like, corner, basically, from here. It's a decent angle to do that from. And now we probably want to move the scaffold around here. Feels like it's not straight, but whatever. One more. Now we have a good shot at that. Can't remember if this extends both sides or not. The back one was only half, I feel. This one, I think, might be both sides, which is weird. Kind of doesn't make sense that it'll be different back to front, but... we'll wait and see, I guess. So the thought, actually, I think there's a, like, washer skin or something that suits this design. Like the pyramid design. Probably use that rather than my flower power one, eh? Maybe after finishing this wall. Maybe it is in two halves. So this feels like it's about to go ding after finishing off all of this stuff. Yep. Good. I like that. Was I right? Is there like a... the pacifist one, that's the one. That's kind of suitable anyway. I haven't actually looked at the other outfits for a while. Should trawl the shop. But I don't really want to buy everything just for the sake of it. I also don't want to finish that just for the sake of it. Other side? Round? No, we've finished around the back now, haven't we? Instead of walking with the scaffold, I should actually run around until the point that I'm dropping it down, and then just pick it up remotely. Yeah, we did that bit. Somewhere around... Whoop, get stuck on it. Somewhere around here. Now we're getting all the reflection, of course. I should probably stand off to this side first, so that we're getting a good angle. Kind of perpendicular, essentially. And then move down the other end. Those lower levels we should do when we're further down. And then here, maybe just do up as far as there, I guess. Right, and now, to get this in the right place, I'm going to stand up here and move it, if we can. Okay, it doesn't let me. Bonk, there we go. Jumping halfway up. Always good, because we want to finish off this entranceway bit here. So we'll do the same sort of things we did on the other side. Extra long extension. It's actually quite far away. Work our way across. On this side first of all. And on the higher angle. So you can see we didn't manage to get the top of the squiggly line that's going across. It's like a digital heartbeat. Get what we can from this direction. Ah, and then it just goes ding because it's super generous. So we think we're being clever and careful and like precise about things, and then it just goes, yeah, you don't need to worry. Which is at the same time gratifying and infuriating. So let me be a masochist, damn it. Anyway. We can do the rest of these when we're actually down there. I don't know why I'm bothering now, but hey, because I can, I guess. Because why not? And the archway's almost done. And now let's just drop down a couple of layers. Actually, we'll start from this layer. Just go to the edge of where the archway is, basically. Maybe a brick further or something. Just the long rather than the extra long is probably fine. Basically do a brick height at a time. This is just like some weird FPS shenanigans going on, and that's why it kind of stutters and doesn't clean a bit, even though it's in the middle of the spray sometimes. I mean, we can't be perfectly smooth with our travel as well. I keep accidentally right-clicking, just my finger twitches and it just stops it going automatically. At this point, it seems that maybe just the short extension is all we need. And once we get down this far, it feels we don't even really need the scaffold anyway. Bonk. Up to the corner. I feel the entrance wall is probably best done by standing on the pyramid wall itself, rather than bothering with the scaffold. And yes, I just tossed the gnome onto his face at the start. I don't think there's even an achievement associated with the gnome on this level, because there's the achievement for just completing the level. feel there should have been like a pedestal or something. Should have been a case of like having a gnome over by my van. Because the van got brought in by the helicopter, I think. Was the van even there? I thought the van was down the bottom or something. There should be like a normal looking gnome down there, and you take it into here and there's like a pedestal or something. Would have been cool to have. You place the gnome on the pedestal and it turns into that one. That would have been a cool touch. And then you can have an achievement for like crowning the king. So it gets to the point with these bits, with the bricks the way they are, being really reflective and stuff. I don't know what stains on there and what stains on my screen.